Good morning. This is your midterm review, and hopefully by now you understand that teaching reading is not an easy process. That's what I want you to understand. I want you today to listen to my lecture, and your quiz is going to be you telling me, one, what is working for you in this class, how it's going for you, what works, what doesn't work. And also, I want you to tell me if there's something you don't understand. Okay, that's very important. And I will read all of them, make sure that I address them. I mean, this is your chance to basically tell me what's working and what's not, and, hopefully ask me for more help if you need that. What I'm thinking is I would like for you to do this anonymously. So if you could send an email to one of your classmates, you can decide partner with somebody, get a partner, and that person can cut and paste what you say and put it in under their name and send an email to me, or I can even create a Dropbox. That might be better. Either way, you can either email it or place it in the Dropbox called Midterm Quiz. Okay. If you're having problems pairing with somebody, please let Denise know or the class manager know, and that hopefully he or she can help you. Okay. So don't forget to do that. I will mention it in the assignments at the end. Okay. Now let's discuss what we've gone over so far. We know that there are 5 areas of reading. We know that Dr. Seuss thinks that there are 6 areas of reading. Oral language is extremely important. When a student comes to school, the more that student has talked with adults and talked with other kids and learned words, the better off that student is. And if you've read to that student, that makes it even better. And if you've practiced, looking at letters and they know their alphabet, that's even more of a strength. So you've got to think about how critical those years are before school starts. We know that we have phonemic awareness as an area of reading, phonics, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. The rest of the semester will focus on comprehension, which is the main goal of reading. Okay? And I'm going to have a video from my old professor, Joe Torgerson, who talks about phonemic awareness. It's a 7-minute video, and I want you to watch it this week. It's very important. What you will get out of this is that if your child or your students had good teachers and your students were involved in games and different activities that took that oral language and made those students realize that oral language translated into print, then you're going to have successful readers early on. Phonemic awareness is so important in learning how to read. One initial part of that video, he talks about guided reading groups. And this is something that I think more middle and high school teachers are starting to use, especially English and reading teachers, where you realize that you have as many levels, different levels, as some of the early elementary school teachers do. And so you may have them working in groups based on need. Okay. I like what he says about, how important it is that students are taken through a process of learning easier skills like, syllables and rhyming, and then working toward analogy and wordplay with learning that there are analogies, like you got your initial onset, which is the C in cat, and the at is the rhyme part. It's R-I-M-E. And if they learn that at part, then they can start making analogies to learn other words, and that increases their vocabulary so quickly. They're called word sorts. Some of you may have learned that in the vocabulary section. Word sorts were mentioned. And what happens if the students are not involved in guided reading and working on the skills that they need? Think about this, okay? It's like a car. I just took my car in for service. Drive your car in. If my car is going in for an oil change and tire rotation, why would I want to give that car another service if it's not needed? Or If there's something that's preventing the car from running well, we may have to look at something, another, area of the car and fix that in order for it to function correctly. We don't want to pay for more um, maintenance than what we need. And students don't need to be sitting there and being involved in a syllable activity if they have been doing that at home since they were 2. So that's why we have differentiation of instruction and why we should have guided reading groups, okay, or guided groups of study. And that works in any subject area. Um, when they get to high school, even the PE teachers that are teaching health, there may be kids in there that can't read your textbook, and that may stem all the way back to their early reading. Watch what those teachers on the video do. Think about your own kids. Some of you have kids of your own. How did they learn to read? Think about the complexity of that. Okay, so please watch that video. You have already created a vocabulary lesson. I'm giving you tons of feedback, not to be critical, but to help you do well with your comprehension, which is the main goal of reading. We're going to be working on comprehension for the rest of the semester. It is the main goal of reading, okay? This week you're learning about different activities to help before they read, during reading, and after reading. And yes, all content area teachers need to be doing this, okay? And so there are a lot of activities that are in those 3 books that you have that will help, and it tells you, in the book by Buell, I love that one. It gives you even the Common Core, what that standard is for that particular strategy. So I scan those just in case you don't have the same page numbers. I want you to take a look at those and start thinking, what kind of activity do I want to do for my comprehension activity? This is a key assignment. Once I grade it, I will give you feedback, then you will correct it, and you will upload it into TK20, okay? We talked about fluency, and you, even as a science or social studies teacher or a PE teacher, if you see there's somebody that's not fluent, that student is spending more time in trying to decode the words, and that decoding is taking up all the brain power, so they're not comprehending. Most schools have a reading specialist or a reading coach, but if not, you can always contact English teachers or just your reading teachers to maybe help you get an assessment on that student. And that was part of the formula of Reading for Florida, which is kind of, you don't hear that much anymore. But what is important is that you have that screening of the students to figure out where they are. And a lot of times you can use FCAT scores for that, or look in CUNE folders for other state standardized test scores. Then if a student's having problems, you diagnose. You want to find exactly where the problem is. Is it with recognizing words? Is it with their fluency? Is it with their lack of being able to comprehend? Okay, and so that's why we're going to be spending so much time on comprehension and comprehension strategies. Okay, again, I want you to find a partner in the classroom. Okay, and I want you to tell me for your test, for your quiz. I want to know, no name. I want to know what's working for you, what's not, and hopefully I can help change whatever that is, and if you were having any issues, okay? I hope you're having a great day. Again, watch the video with Dr. Torgeson, and I will see you soon. Bye.